simply an opportunity to establish some connection with the body that you're working on, as well as stimulating blood flow. And you know, um, there's different styles of massage that accomplish different goals. So this is definitely designed to be somewhat relaxing, but also stimulating and invigorating at the same time. Okay, so first technique that is a great way to just establish connection with the body is a nice, soft, or medium, open palm gliding along the body. These are also great ways to do massage where you don't have to remove the clothing, so it's a little more comfortable, so something that a lot of different people can do. So this is perfect if someone has like a t-shirt on, something soft and maybe stretchy. This is just a regular t-shirt, so that works for what we are doing here today. It's good to kind of stroke from the base of the spine up along the neck and shoulders and back down. So that's kind of the intention of my direction. It might just look like I'm just rubbing the back, but I'm actually have some intention behind what I'm doing. So I'm kind of starting at the base of the spine here, gliding up, along, and back down. Now you never want to be right in the middle on the spinal column. You don't want to ever really massage, um, especially for beginners. That would be something for a more skilled individual to do. So for anyone out there who is not a skilled, trained professional, I'm going to recommend that you pretty much just stay away from the bones of the spine. Anytime you feel a bone, I want you to immediately move off of it. So you want to be kind of just to the side of the spinal column, the bones of the spine, in the meaty area, in the muscular area. And that's on both sides. So no matter how you're pressing into the back or rubbing the back, you never want to be directly on the spine. Never, ever, ever work directly on the spine. Always to the right or to the left of the spinal bones, which you're in the center. So after we do just some gentle introductory connecting strokes, then we can kind of, and the body is comfortable being touched. It's open to receiving the touch, and you can tell if the person has relaxed into receiving the touch. Once it's warmed up, then you can get into using some different strokes. So this young man does a lot of work on the computer, spends a lot of time sitting at the desk like many of us do. So it's my work from home tech worker. So that's why I'm showing you guys this, because I know a lot of people are working from home right now. Maybe you have a partner or family member who is able to help you maintain and care for your body during this period in time when there aren't a lot of other resources available to do that work for you. This is something you can do at home with your friends, family, and loved ones. So kind of what you see me doing here is just establishing a light rocking motion. And although that's very active and invigorating, it can also be relaxing at the same time. So I know it kind of sounds kind of contradictory when I say relaxing, invigorating, and stimulating massage, but it really can be all three of those things at the same time. So what I'm doing is just, again, not directly on the spine, but just in the meaty area, just to the right or the left of the spine, and some gentle pushing. And you can tell that the body is relaxed by how much it rocks freely with just gentle force, not pushing hard, not applying a lot of force. So the motion comes from the relaxation of the body, not from the amount of force that I'm using to push the body. Another good area Another good place to do this rocking and shaking motion is right on the sacrum. So you can use an open flat palm, rocking and shaking along the sacrum. If you can feel the sacrum, you can kind of cup it in your hand. So the fingers are on one side of the sacrum and the palm of the hand is on the other side. And you can stimulate both sides at the same time. The pushing as well as the pulling motion with the fingers. How does that feel, Kevin? Because a lot of people are sitting, as well as different body types, very often you will have some contraction here in the lower back, leading to lower back pain. So another great method to use is to kind of push down, opening up the lower back and hips. And this motion feels good to a lot of people. A lot of low back pain. But it can also be very tender on a lot of people, so you want to check in about the amount of force you're using and how it's feeling to the person you're working with. I'm basically using the base of my palm to press in, not too hard, just kind of flowing with the natural, finding the natural tension in the body, and then maybe just pushing, a couple centimeters or with ease to allow it to open up beyond that point. Now, again, for the untrained person doing this, it's good to just stick with your open flat palm, gently circular motions over the spine. If you have a little more skill or knowledge about the body and you're not going to hurt the person and you can feel the bones of the spinal column, you can kind of just use your fingers and gently feel into the spine and kind of just give those bones some motion, or the muscles surrounding the bones some direct motion. So I'm kind of going in circles, if you can see. This is someone I know that spends lots of hours in a desk chair. Although I know he's pretty good about doing yoga, so I also know that he practices yoga. But we can all be a little better about doing our stretching, warming up the body, keeping the body flexible and mobile. So for many people, the middle of the back and shoulders is a great area of tension that a lot of people can't get to themselves to work on. So it's great if you can bring your attention to those areas, those harder to reach areas, and spend some extra time there. I'm just doing some little, what we call friction circles with the pads of my fingertips. As a massage therapist, I often do what I call pain-free deep tissue work. Because so many people get deep tissue massages and have a bad experience where they really got hurt. And you don't have to hurt someone to really connect at a deep level with the muscles and tissues of the body. So my work is typically very deep and connected, but it's not intended to be painful at all. Stiff. some little things that really help with establishing some connection with the person you are massaging is you'll notice how I'm sitting directly beside the body and kind of just meeting the body with the side of my body as well. So as many areas that you can establish connection, that really helps to create a nice massage experience. So you want to, as often as possible, keep both hands on the body. Even if you're just working, you'll notice I'm doing the circles and massaging really with one hand. I have the other hand stabilizing the body as well. So it makes a difference in terms of the connection. A lot of what we're doing right now is just warming up the tissues of the body. There's many different types of massage designed to do many different things. And this is just some gentle introductory massage, basically just to warm the tissues of the body and stimulate some energetic and blood flow. Energy and blood flow. Right now I'm just focusing on the shoulder, the upper back, mid back, all the way down to the lower back. And then up into the neck as well, just with some gentle circles. This is also one way we can help keep each other healthy at home with some regular massage. So you don't have to think of massage as just a professional service that only a professional can do. Everybody can do massage. Connection is part of our nature. Even the animals, many of the animals in the animal kingdom, we see massaging one another. So it's part of our nature. It's a very natural thing for everyone to do. Another key area where many people hold a lot of tension is in the hips, lower back and hips. Key area. It's also a very sensitive area, you know. It's the location of some of our personal, private areas. So it's kind of a sensitive area. That's why this is a great way to work, where it doesn't require the person to remove any clothing. So that way you can have a little more comfort while you're working the entire body. So that rocking motion works really well in this area. Whether you're just doing a gentle push to establish the rocking, you can do both a push and pull. If someone, this young man seems pretty relaxed, he's pretty open, so, but everybody's not that open, so you may be pushing, then you'll notice no rocking is happening because the person's body is just not loosened up yet or open. So then you can use the pushing and the pulling. So that way you can get these both sides at the same time. And this rocking motion works all the way down into the legs. Getting into the hamstrings here, doing some nice big circles with the palm of my hand, applying pressure, not too much pressure, very gentle. Again, it doesn't have to hurt to be effective. It doesn't have to be hard to be effective. For a lot of people, these could be sensitive areas, so you really can't go in with too much pressure anyway. What we call joint mobilization. This is where we take your joints through their natural range of motion. This helps to relieve tension as well as increase flexibility, if that's part of your goal. Pressure points here in the soles of the feet. Toes, rotating the toes. If you're having any sinus issues, the toes are a great place to focus your massage. So when you focus on the fingers and the toes, those areas correlate to the sinuses of the body. So they help stimulate blood flow in those areas. So if you're having congestion, that increase in blood flow and energy will help to clear out those areas of anything that doesn't belong there. Muscles here. So, this is a very young body, no injuries, no surgeries, anything like that. But if you do have people that have limitations and history of injury in their knees, you want to be very careful with going through the range of motion and really check in with the person you're working on. If you are not aware, you want to ask them, first of all, if they have any issues or anything going on in their knees that you should be concerned about before you just start moving things around. You want to respect people's limitations, especially for what we're doing at home. This is not physical therapy or anything like that. So we want to respect people's limitations and help them work around it. So the hips are a very tight area for most people. And here's a little trick that I'll show you, a little move we use to kind of get into the hip area. So if you bring the hip out kind of as far as I can go comfortably, make sure you're breathing nice and deep, Kevin. Don't hold your breath. Nice deep breathing. And this is how we can help with some hip openers. So we're actually going to not so much be working with our hands, but actually with the feet. So you can use your 2 feet. You're just using the hand to stabilize the foot of the leg we're working on, and using the feet to really press into the hamstrings all the way up into the hip. And this is really kind of a nice, gentle way to help support someone in increasing their flexibility in these areas. And these are the perfect hands because they're nice and slippery, so it allows my foot to just glide nice and smooth. So that's really great. How's it doing, Kevin? How's it feeling?
I'm good.
Not too much stretch? Deep breathing. For men and women, but especially in my experience for men, this helps get into their groin area in a way that many men aren't used to opening up into. So as men get older, those areas tend to really hold a lot of tension. But this young man, he's only his 20s, early 20s, so he probably doesn't have any of those issues just yet. So what you see me doing here, I kind of just using my heel in the glute area. It's typically a tough area to get into. But you don't have to go in there with like an elbow and start applying all your body weight trying to move stuff around. I'm just basically gently have my heel in the area, and from the weight of my leg, weight of my body to kind of just sink into the area, and doing some gentle rocking or pushing into it in a circular motion. No pain?
Feels a little tender, but no pain.
A little tender, but no pain. So that's good. That lets you know that's a tight area. That's an area where you've been holding tension. And we're opening the area clearly. We're working in the area, but there's no pain. So that's going to allow you to grow. You can grow pain-free. It doesn't have to be painful in order for you to see growth, progress. For the quads, which are in the front of our leg, you can still access those from this area. So I'm kind of coming up into this figure 4 that I've made, allowing my knees to touch the hamstrings, and then I'm going to use my hands to pull into the quads in the front of the leg. And this is great for like the runners and people who have super tight IT bands. This allows you to access the area and open it up gently. Make sure you're breathing nice and deep, nice deep breathing. A person should be able to breathe through whatever you are doing to them. So even if you know you're not doing hard pressure, but they're holding their breath because they just can't breathe through it, that means it's too much pressure for them. So you need to lighten up your touch. Like in one spot, they might need a lot of firm pressure to feel anything. And then in another area, you have to use a feather light touch because that normal amount of pressure you were using in another area might be too much. So I know many of us experience that, especially when it comes to the IT bands here on the side of the leg. That can be a very sensitive area for a lot of people. How's yours, Kev? Tender?
No, I'm good.
Good? He's good. thumb circles like I've been doing, or it's just kind of one stroke, one technique. You can also use kind of the backs of your fingers just for some, almost like a rolfing. Nothing like actual rolfing. Softest, we'll call it softest. Traction, gentle pull. This is another good stretch. Flexion of the leg at the knee joint. And then if you're a little more skilled and you feel up, you know, like you can do it safely, you can do some hyperextension at the hip joint. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, breathe. Exhale. So that's good for the lower back, hip. Say for instance you might have a person with a heavy leg and you can't lift it like that. You can use your knee and kind of just lift their leg up and set it on your knee. For many people with these tight hip flexors going on, this is quite enough stretch. Just this little lift right here is quite enough stretch to help out most people. So if you can just do this for them, lift the knee and set it on top of your knee and allow them to just breathe. That's really going to allow these hip flexors to open up and release. But maybe you have someone who's really light and flexible and they want to grow even further. You can help them take it further than that by grabbing the knee and then gently raising up. Just keep breathing here. Again, this person is 20, so his body's like Gumby right now. If you're a little older, 30s, 40s, 50 plus, you may not get that far. Gentle joint mobilization.
Again, this is called joint mobilization, where we just take the joints through their normal range of motion. You know, the toes, the feet, the ankles, the knee joint, the hips. Just moving these areas through their normal range of motion helps to relax the muscles that are attached to the joints. So basically, what you do to one side of the body, you want to do to the other side of the body, just to help create a more balanced massage experience. So again, we're going to do the stretch on this side by lifting the leg of the body we're working on and placing the knee on top of our knee, just to allow some stretch for the hip flexors in the front of the body, and then also um, opening up the hip and the knee joint. And if you feel comfortable and the person you're working on feels comfortable, you can take the stretch even further than that by lifting up on your legs to raise the leg of the body you're working on even higher. Balance in all things is the key. You'll notice I've moved to the opposite side of the body. You want to position yourself on the same side of the body that you're working on. Again, that allows for the most connection, for a better massage, and then it also helps to keep your body from feeling strained as you're doing this work.
Turn your head to one
It
side.
should feel easy and comfortable for your body as you're giving this massage. As you can see here, I've now moved into a kneeling lunge position, and this allows me to easily move up and down the body lengthwise. I'm just using some small thumb circles in the lower back along the muscles along the spine to loosen that area, which is a very tight area on most people. So just light to medium thumb circles, nothing too deep, lengthening and loosening the muscles along the spine.
Now we're gonna do some fancy Thai moves on you.
Now that we've spent about a good 30 minutes warming and loosening the body, we can start to get into some more advanced stretches. This is a more advanced move, so if you don't feel comfortable with this stretch, or the person you're working on hasn't relaxed enough to allow you to do this stretch comfortably and easily, go ahead and avoid this particular stretch. Again, this is something a little more advanced. This is a somewhat advanced move as well. What I've done here is brought the leg into a full flexion, and brought the feet together. And I'm actually sitting on the feet like a stool. So this provides a stretch to the body I'm working on, to the lower half of the body. And as you can see, it makes it easy for me to reach up and grab the top half of the body so that I'm able to stretch the lower and the top portion of the body at the same time, following his breath. And this just makes it easy for both of us. But again, this is very
Grab
advanced.
my
So if you
arm.
don't know what you're doing, you don't feel comfortable, or the person you're working on doesn't feel comfortable, you want to avoid doing these types of moves. When I say working with the breath, that means doing the stretches as he's breathing easily, I'm breathing easily, everything is flowing nice and easy. And he is very flexible. Everybody may not get that much stretch, especially with the tension many people are holding in their back and chest these days. So I know I said for beginners, sorry guys, this is not exactly a beginner move, but I did want to just show you a little bit about how you can grow and enhance the massage. Now that we've spent a sufficient amount of time warming and relaxing the body, we can go in with some deeper work into those more tense areas. Here, like the mid back, the area between the shoulder blades is a very tense area for most people, and it's an area most people cannot access themselves. So now we can get into a little more deeper work to really get into that deep tension and help it to relax. Using, again, here we're going in with our soft fist, doing some rapid tapping with soft open and closed fists. Feels really good. I really like working on the floor as opposed to the massage table because it really helps you to be more flexible with your body and how you can use it. And it allows the person you're working on to be more flexible with how they can move, and you just feel more grounded and sturdy. So here I've rolled him over onto his side so that I can access the scapula bone, which most people call the shoulder blade. And I've just
Let your
looped
arm.
his arm over mine so that I can really grab hold of the shoulder with one hand, and with the other hand, I'm going into what we call the medial border of the scapula, or basically, I'm grabbing the shoulder blade and lifting his body, really opening up the shoulder. You want to be very careful if you have someone who has had previous injuries to their shoulders or surgeries, but this person has not, and he's very flexible, so this feels very good. Again, always working with the breath, making sure the person you're working on is breathing and pulling with the exhale, lifting with the exhale. This is a great stretch for the lower back as well, where we do grab both feet and just do a little traction, which means a light pull, basically using gravity to open up the lower back. A little side to side rocking and shaking really help to loosen up the area. Now we're going to spend some time on the front side of the body, focusing on the chest and the shoulders from the front side of the body. We're just going to come in with some more of those open palm circles in the area with medium pressure. And this helps to open up the shoulders. You want to be very careful here. This can be a very sensitive area for some people. So just some gentle traction for the shoulder joint as well as the wrist, arms, fingers, and through the hands. Feels very good, especially when you have people who are working 8, 10, 12 hours on computer all day. Now, this may look intense, but it's really not. He's just very open, and we're kind of working with gravity. Everything flows nice and easy. So you never really want to be focusing on pulling hard. You want to be nice and easy and allow the body to open and flow with you. Don't force, flow. Now, here's another semi advanced technique or just a different way of doing massage I wanted to show you guys. You can actually use your feet to do massage. Um, Coming in with just some gentle, broad pressure from the sole of the feet is a great way to apply good pressure to the larger muscles of the body. So I know the forearms are very tight um, for a lot of computer workers, and oftentimes coming in with the fingers can be too painful. So if you're able to use the flat, broad surface pressure of the sole of the feet, very gently. Again, you're not going stepping down hard. Most of my weight is on the opposite leg that I'm not using on the body. So most of my weight is on my stabilizing leg for my body, and then I'm able to control the amount of pressure I'm using with the foot that I'm applying to the body. And it's really easy for you, the person giving the massage, and when done properly, it feels really good to the body receiving the massage. So again, this is a semi-advanced technique. If you don't feel comfortable using this technique, you can go ahead and skip it. But I just wanted to show that you do have options with how you can use your body to help the body that you're working on. What really helps is to always be watching and listening for the breathing of the person you're working on. He's doing excellent breathing, which is why his body is open, fluid, and flowing really nicely. So he's going to receive a lot of benefits from this body work. He should feel really good when we're finished. It's super easy and super beneficial to give some attention to the hands and fingers. With all the typing and texting and everything that we're doing with our fingers these days, oftentimes not using proper body mechanics or positions while we're doing these things, you could build up a lot of tension in the wrist, the arms, and even in the fingers. So you don't want to perhaps later in life develop arthritis or other issues that can come from overuse in these areas. So just some gentle pulling to open the area up, increase the blood flow into the area, and help prevent inflammation and pain from taking up residence in these areas. This is how we can help prevent that from happening. Here I'm just using the my foot on the forearm just like I did on the other side. Again, most of my weight is on the leg that is not on his body, so I'm able to stabilize myself with that leg and really control the amount of pressure I'm using with the foot that is working on the body. You can see here I've moved back into that kneeling lunge position. And this allows me to easily access both legs as I do some gentle rocking in the quads and up into the hips to help bring some balance and tension relief to those areas. Using proper body mechanics for yourself is very important so that you don't hurt your body while you're trying to massage someone else's body. As a full-time massage therapist, it's critically important that we use proper body mechanics so that we don't hurt ourselves and we're able to continue doing this work pain-free. Here I'm massaging the chest and the ribs. I'll even get into the abdominals a little bit, into the stomach area. This young man's been doing a lot of working out, so it's important to massage these muscles after you've been working them out. This is another semi-advanced move, so you want to be very careful.
Take a big deep breath.
What I'm doing is,
Inhale.
as you can see, flat palms, having him breathe in, and as he exhales, I gently press into the chest, helping the body, helping the air to all be expelled from the lungs and applying some gentle pressure as it gets to the bottom of the lung capacity. So once the lungs are completely emptied, gentle press on the rib cage. Gentle open palm press into the shoulder joints. This feels very good in the front of the body. Here I'm just gently tracing the area along the bottom of the rib cage, gently going in with my thumb along the bottom border of the rib cage. And then also light strokes down into the abdominals. This feels really good for someone who's been working out or doing yoga. And it's an area that maybe often doesn't get that much attention. So it feels really good to come in and give some attention to these areas. So again, you see me just gently tracing the area along the bottom of the rib cage on the other side. And then that'll come down into the obliques of the abdomen. And then I'll also work in the center of the abdominals as well. Again, very gently and working with his breath. And another thing I mean by working with the breath, you want to be light when the person inhales and then come in with your pressure as the person is exhaling. That's how you work with the breath. So avoid just stabilizing pressure as they are inhaling and then coming in and applying more pressure as they are exhaling. That's the proper way to work with the breath. Working with the breath is important everywhere in the body, but especially in these most sensitive areas like the abdominal areas and some of the other areas of the body. So you'll notice as he's breathing, inhaling, I'm really not pressing at all. I'm kind of just holding my hand. And as he exhales, I'm able to come in and really massage the area.
Can you tell what muscles I worked out?
Tummies need love too. So just some nice gentle circles rubbing across the abdominals, the tummy area. Feels really good. It helps improve your circulation and keeps everything moving and flowing in that area. So yeah, nice gentle circles in the abdomen feel really, really good. And then a nice gentle tug on the sides of the body feels really good. You can come in with one or both hands and just gently pull the sides of the body to the opposite side. Nice, light, gentle pressure. And you can do this on both sides of the body. Now we're going to come up into the neck area, just some gentle stretching on the for the neck and shoulders. So what I'm doing here is just using my fingers and doing some gentle circles at the back of the neck, as well as the side of the neck and the front, and then also along the earlobes, and the jaw, moving into the face. So we're gonna wind up ending here with a little head, neck, and shoulder massage. And that's going to complete our full body session. This was about a 90-minute session we did. What you can't see very well is that I'm just doing the same thing on the opposite side. Gentle circles in the neck, along the jaw, and the ear. You don't want to forget the face. We're just going to do some gentle circles here. And then some nice gentle circles along the jaw. A lot of people hold tension in their jaws just from clenching their teeth and other reasons. So it feels really good to spend some time in this area. Some gentle pressure circles helping to relax the area. And that's about it. It's always good to finish off with some nice traction or gentle stretching just to complete the massage and give it a nice complete feel and allow the person to take some nice deep breaths to ground out of the massage. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. This is kind of one of my first recordings. So if this is useful for you all, I will definitely do more recordings and get some better angles and provide some more detailed information to really help you be able to care for your family and friends at home. And then we'll also get into some self massage videos as well so you're able to take care of yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you all again soon.